Before dawn, at 0628 local time, Russian forces were finalizing preparations for a high-value raid into occupied Kherson. Two formidable Russian attack helicopters sat fueled and waiting at the Gyartskoye airbase. Simultaneously, a high-value tugboat was being loaded with the gear of an elite Special Forces dive team at Silvest Harbor. Russia thought they were invisible. They had 4 minutes until their morning was permanently cancelled. But 12 silent, sea-launched, garage-built drones were already screaming toward the Crimean coast at 140 kilometers per hour. Their simple design hid a crucial secret, a low-cost advantage that would rewrite the rules of war. The mission almost died instantly. A Russian Raptor patrol boat on a routine sweep saw 3 heat signatures, the mother ship USVs, and opened up with its 14.5mm heavy machine gun, tracer rounds, glowing like deadly red fireworks, chased the vessels through the pre-dawn darkness. The USVs, maxed out at 35 knots, were trapped, sitting ducks in the open water. Then, brilliant misdirection, the lead vessel cut hard towards razor-sharp, shallow reefs. The other split. The Raptor captain had a terrible choice: chase the threat and tear his hull open on volcanic rock, or slam the brakes. His depth finder was screaming, 1.8 meters. He threw the throttles into reverse. At 1,800 meters from the retreating Raptor, the USVs launched. 12 drones simultaneously blasted into the sky, climbing at 50 meters per second. The Raptor's gunner tried to track them, but his mount maxed out at 60 degrees of elevation. The drones were already higher, at 75 degrees. A $1 million gun system was defeated by simple high school geometry. But the Raptor was just a distraction. The real threat was electronic. Russia's powerful 400-kilowatt Romans BN jamming system activated from the Tarkin Peninsula. Imagine a radio jammer 4,000 times stronger than your Wi-Fi router. It turned the entire electromagnetic spectrum into pure static. Worse, it was spoofing the drone's GPS, telling them they were 15 kilometers over empty ocean. The Ukrainian operators had planned for this. They instantly switched to inertial navigation. The drones' internal gyroscopes took over, tracking every movement without any outside signal. It's like walking through your house with your eyes closed. You don't need sight, you just need memory and precise steps. The drones linked up at 2,000 meters altitude. Silvestol Harbor was 22 kilometers away. The airbase was 35 kilometers. The mission was clear: a perfectly synchronized two-pronged strike. Both targets had to be hit simultaneously to prevent an immediate, coordinated counter-response. 4 drones dropped through the morning fog towards Silvestol Harbor. The naval base was a fortress, protected by the Pancer S1 missile system, a weapon that can track a tennis ball at 20 kilometers. These drones should have been vaporized on approach. The Panzer saw them, but the computer kept rejecting the target. Why? Because the Panzer was designed to intercept cruise missiles screaming in at 300 meters per second. These drones were creeping along at 11 meters per second, bicycle speed. The software ignored them, assuming it must be a slow-moving bird or debris. It was a monumental error. They dropped to just 10 meters. Skimming the water, weaving between the massive steel hulls of anchored warships. At that height, radar waves bounce off the water and cancel each other out. The ship's hulls created perfect radar shadows. A sharp-eyed sailor finally spotted them. The Panzer operator switched to manual optical tracking, but the dense morning fog cut visibility. The drones, flying like hummingbirds, jinked every 2 seconds, never giving the computer the 3 seconds it needed to calculate a firing solution. By the time the system locked on, the target was gone. Their target, the Buk 2190 tugboat, the support vessel for Russia's PDSS, their elite underwater special forces. It was loaded with millions of dollars in demolition charges and classified gear. Eliminating this tug would cripple the entire operation before it even left the dock. 2 sailors on the tug's DSHK heavy machine gun opened fire, but the lead drone was diving at an 80-degree angle, presenting a target area the size of a large pizza. At 200 kilometers per hour, the drone traveled 14 meters in the quarter second it took the gunner to react. He was shooting at after images, his rounds always trailing behind reality. The first drone slammed into the bridge. Its shaped charge created a jet of molten copper moving at 8,000 meters per second, punching through steel and glass like they were paper. The second drone hit precisely at the waterline. Water pressure forced 33,000 gallons per minute into the hull. The tug instantly listed 20 degrees to port. Millions of dollars of PDSS equipment demolition charges and irreplaceable gear slid across the deck and sank into the muddy bottom. The Black Sea Fleet's entire special operations capability eliminated in 30 seconds. Meanwhile, 6 more drones were racing 35 kilometers inland toward the Gavard-Diskoye airbase. They followed the highway at 3 meters altitude, using the morning commuter traffic as cover. Every time a truck passed, the drone's signature vanished in the radar scatter. They were threading the needle between power lines and bridge overpasses at 140 kilometers per hour. They reached the perimeter of the $25 million TOR M2 missile system. The TOR is a killer, but its radar has a secret flaw. It scans in elevation bands, high for planes, medium for helos, low for missiles. The full cycle creates a 4-second blind spot. The operators timed it perfectly. At 6:21 and 14 seconds, the radar beam tilted high to check for distant threats. In that 4-second window, the drones accelerated to their maximum speed of 180 kilometers per hour and raced 400 meters across open ground. By the time the beam swept back down, they were safe, swallowed by the radar shadows of hangars and maintenance facilities. They followed 110,000-volt high-voltage power lines. The electromagnetic field from the cables completely drowned out the tiny electric hum of their motors. On radar screens, they looked like the kind of background static operators ignore every single day. The rising sun, blazing 20 times brighter than high-beam headlights, completely overwhelmed every optical sensor looking eastward. It was an old fighter pilot trick, adapted for the drone age. Attack from the blinding sun. Perimeter guards fired the Igla S, one of Russia's best heat-seeking manpads. The problem? These electric drones barely get laptop warm, while the missile needed a 600-degree jet engine to track, and the sun's thermal radiation completely saturated the missile's hypersensitive infrared seeker head. It was a total whiteout. One soldier fired blind. The missile streaked off at Mach 2, but the drone's dinner plate-sized cross-section was too small for the proximity fuse to register. The final flaw: the missile's minimum engagement range was 500 meters to arm. The drones were already at 450 meters and closing. PKM machine guns opened fire, a desperate final defense. The operators knew the math. 4 gunners against 6 fast-moving, improvising targets. They used a classic misdirection. 2 drones climbed high and flew perfectly straight, an irresistible, easy target designed to draw fire. While 4 machine guns swiveled upward to track the obvious threat, 4 other drones scattered low. 2 drones were hit by chance, spiraling down, but 4 made it clean. The mathematics had paid off exactly as planned. At 06:28, the first drone hit the Mi-24 attack helicopter's cockpit canopy. The copper jet punched through bulletproof glass and instrument panels like they were cardboard, instantly finding the hydraulic lines. The resulting flash fire spread, causing the 33mm cannon ammunition to cook off, firing randomly. Cascade failure. The second drone slammed into the Mi-8 transport helicopter's auxiliary fuel tank. Aviation fuel spilled onto the hot tarmac, spreading a massive pool of fire that engulfed the Mi-24 and heated the main fuel tanks of both helicopters past their auto-ignition point. In just 43 minutes, Ukraine's Ghost unit had eliminated 2 $32 million helicopters, sunk a special forces vessel with irreplaceable equipment, and destroyed an entire Russian operation before it ever began. It proved once and for all that tactical ingenuity and a great value weapon can defeat the Whole Foods version. Anytime, anywhere. If you like deep dive in military, please don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more informative videos. Thanks for watching.